Hello, 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 guys. FIFA is the John Cena of sports gaming. What I mean by this is that FIFA had a lot of haters in its prime, and it was even memed and called, the same game every year by a lot of people. And it had a lot of critics as well, and it wasn't seen as, a great game by a lot of people. But we cannot deny that it is the greatest sports gaming franchise ever. I don't, in my opinion, I think it's the best. But not just that, the numbers don't lie as well. Out of all the sports gaming franchises, whether it's NBA 2K, Madden, or PES, for example, FIFA has sold the most copies out of any other sports gaming franchise. And the prime years that FIFA had, I would say from FIFA 10 to like FIFA 19, it was a generational run. You know what I mean? And we cannot deny how great FIFA is, man. And it is the greatest of all time in terms of sports gaming. You know what I mean? And not just that, just the global presence that football as a sport has. It's bigger than basketball, and FIFA was the best football game out there. You know what I mean? And the reason why, also, another reason why I use John Cena as an example is because even John Cena himself, in my opinion, the greatest WWE wrestler ever, in his prime, he had a lot of haters as well. He had a lot of doubters. A lot of people hated on this guy during the 2010s, 2012 as well. During WrestleMania 28 when he lost to The Rock. He had a lot of haters. He had a lot of people booing him. He had people chanting, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." You know, he had a lot of fans against him. And then when he left the company and he took a break for a while, a lot of people started to miss him. And then eventually, when he decided to retire, a lot of people started to say he was the greatest of all time. But a lot of those people that would say John Cena was the greatest of all time were one of his haters. You know what I mean? They were booing him. They would even say during his prime he was their favorite wrestler. You know what I mean? And a lot of people in his prime especially complained about him being boring and his move sets, him being a boring wrestler. That's why I remember in 2015, he went on that United States Championship run and he was cooking, man. The whole move sets. He beat the allegations, yeah, of people saying, see, he could have wrestled. You know what I mean? And just to FIFA as well, man. A lot of people during its prime who complain about FIFA. FIFA's not a perfect game. Don't get me wrong, innit? I'm not denying it. No game is perfect. Especially FIFA. But a lot of people will consider FIFA 15, for example, the greatest FIFA of all time. But a lot of you guys were complaining about the game, saying, they like the gameplay. He's complaining about Ultimate Team, the price ranges. But it, as far as I'm concerned, FIFA 15 Ultimate Team is 1 billion times better than the FC games we've got, especially FC 26. But you guys were complaining back then about the stuff we had then, and even during the times when FIFA will go through like a sort of decline. You know, a lot of people consider FIFA kind of fell off. After FIFA 18, they'll say like FIFA 19 was the beginning of the downfall of FIFA, but and some of you guys will complain and say FIFA 19 was the worst FIFA of all time, but a lot of people, a lot of you guys now are saying, FIFA 19 wasn't that bad, the promos we had and the, the game modes, the journey, but you guys were saying this game was bad, you know what I mean? And even like, FIFA, like post 2020 times. Where were you guys, especially during lockdown, during, you know, the Warzone era when Fortnite was good as well? A lot of you guys switched to playing Call of Duty Warzone, but were you guys there playing FIFA 20? Was he playing champs? Was he there during the Beneda times? You know what I mean? The dragbacks. You know what I mean? I will deny that, like I said, FIFA's not a perfect game, but I will deny that FIFA gave me and you a lot of great memories, man. And now we miss it, man. You know what I mean? We can't deny it, man. The stats are there, like I said, just the global presence of football and FIFA. It has, we can't deny it's the greatest of all time. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Am I just waffling, or do you agree with what I'm saying, that FIFA is the greatest, the greatest sports game franchise ever, man? You know, and now that I've, got my point across, I'd like to just talk about FIFA, man. I miss FIFA, man, the old FIFA, man, and I'm sure you who's watching this video misses the game as well, man. FIFA 17, as you can see, the gameplay in this video, it was regarded, one of, if not the best FIFA to a lot of people, man. The content we got, the gameplay. I even got a couple of shorts videos on my TikTok. You know, if some of you guys have seen, about like the commentators just talking about, histories about clubs. They're just talking about interesting facts about football, man. And we don't get that anymore, man. That's what made like FIFA special. I feel as though like EA Sports back then, they just nailed everything down. They did they made it so perfect in a way, and they just like removed all of these good aspects of, the game, like the commentators, as I said. We don't realize it now, but we didn't realize it back then because we were young and we would just play FIFA. We would just play the game, you know what I mean? But a lot of times now when I'm, going back to these old FIFAs and I'm listening to these commentaries, I just like take in what they're saying, and you don't really know how good we had it back then until you actually realize and reflect upon it, man. And yeah, man. And as for John Cena as well, man, now that he's retired, you don't realize what he had, until it's gone, man. And that's the same with FIFA. That's why, this whole video, I'm using that John Cena analogy, the FIFA thing, because you don't realize how good we had it back then until it's gone, man. Now that it's gone, we're in the FC era, which is so bad in my opinion. We all miss the old days, man, and we just gotta say to ourselves, man, that you know it was a good time. You know what I mean? And those that are watching this video, man, be proud, man. You know what I mean? That's what I gotta say. Be proud that you got to experience Prime Fever, even like the FIFA 20s, the FIFA 21s, those games which added a like. I appreciate the memories it gave to me. You know what I mean? And I won't deny that it gave me good times, man. But yeah, man, guys, man. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on FIFA, man. And if you do enjoy this video, would you like more of these type of videos in the future, then please leave a like or subscribe, for more FIFA content. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, anyways, thanks for watching, man. Take care, man, and see you soon.